Hope everybody's doing well. Staying warm. All right. Okay. Very quick turnaround for our basketball team. I think this is our first Big Tuesday game, and playing against one of the better teams in the country. I think they're playing as good as anyone in the country right now, and they had a great non-conference schedule. I think they lost overtime to Kansas, and of course returning with Grant Williams, the Player of the Year in our league last year, as well as a guy that's playing really well, Schofield. And if you recall, those guys starting out as young freshmen, and took some bumps along the way, and now they're one of the more experienced combo. But they have more than just Williams. The Bowen kid, the Bowen and Bone kid, guys that have played meaningful minutes. So it's an experienced team, and we get the challenge of going and playing them at their place, and coming off of a tough overtime loss to LSU. We'll find out more about the make of our basketball team. And as I told our guys, I'm not discouraged anyway, because in every game we play, we've been right there, and just got to continue to try to make those plays that convert you into winning. And I think our bench is going to be a big part of that. Our bench has to come in and play at a high level in the first half and even in the second half, and enable the guys to finish off the game, to finish it off strong. I think there's some guys out there playing tired and trying to play through it. But again, Tennessee, very good basketball team, playing well. Welcome to the SEC family. Every game is a big game, and this is another big game on our schedule. So, to me, it's a great opportunity. It's a tremendous challenge, but we'll go in there with the understanding that they're a good team and we're a good basketball team.
Mike, you look at the box from the last time you guys played there a couple of years ago. You don't have anybody left who played in that game. They got a bunch of guys who were freshmen or sophomores, and now they're juniors and seniors. Just how tough is that to have such a young team having to play at their place when they're so experienced?
Well, this is new for our guys, having an opportunity to go and play against one of the better teams at their place. So we will find out more about our basketball team. I think that's, to me, what it's all about. Is you're going to play against some great teams, and let's find out where we are. So I think our guys are looking forward to the opportunity, the challenge of going and playing. And as I said, they're a very physical basketball team, and I think that's one thing we've got to match their physicality. They shoot it and go get it. They shoot at a high percentage. They're one of the leading assist teams in the country. But that's what you call, just the process. I think that's the process, and I think Rick has trust the process. I think those kids trust the process, and now they're playing as one of the better teams in the country.
And how different? Grant Williams, he's a junior now. You saw those guys as young guys. Now they're men. How different? Same players, but it's a lot different team.
Well, again, you can't teach experience, and it's a process. You got to go through it, and those guys went through it. They took some lumps early on in those years, but we saw the process, the maturity take place, and of course Rick has added some really quality pieces. The Alexander kid has turned into a really good player. People don't talk about him, but I think he's a big key to what they do, and they've added some depth with their bench. But I think those guys that you talk about, those are the guys, the core guys for them, as well as Bowen and Bowen and Bone. Those guys are really good basketball players. The Turner kid, he's one of those guys that have been there through freshmen, and so we're at that stage right now with a lot of young guys, and so the process, they have to go through it, and sometimes there's some hard knocks, some tough losses. And I say I can look at every one of our games, and you look at the free throw lines, you look at the turnovers, the rebounding, and we're just a few plays away. And so, can we get over that hurdle? And of course, it's going to be a big hurdle going against a Tennessee team, but it's one we look forward to.
As physical as they are, what are Chaney and Gabe going to have to do off the bench to help out Daniel and just in general?
I believe those guys are going to have to bring us some efficient, some quality minutes. I think you're going to have to do some blue collar things. That's what this game is going to be about, blue collar. defending, loose balls, keeping them off the boards, putting bodies on them, maybe getting them in foul trouble. We've been pretty good about really attacking and getting to the basket, and so it's going to be important that we be strong with the basketball. And the biggest thing is on the road, you got to have some poise. But no question about it, our guards have got to rebound. And not only Reggie and Gabe, Daniel, Adriel. I think all our guys got to. It's like all hands on deck when you go against a team that's playing as well as Tennessee is right now.
Also with Isaiah, just what's he going to have to do? Because I gather teams are chasing him all over the 3-point line. What's he going to have to do to get on track?
I think he's got to, we got to do a better job of getting screens for him, getting him open. We saw him actually cutting and curling to the basket, and just got to be able to make plays when he does that. A couple of times he went in there, and I think as he curled, he lost the ball. But he's got to be constant in motion. The fast break, pushing in there, and people are going to start paying a lot of attention. I think Daniel's been the recipient of that because they're spacing the floor in terms of trying to cover Isaiah. They're covering Mason over here, and it's opening up the lanes that J5 can get in there, and we're moving Daniel around. So now Daniel is a recipient of that. But I think he just got to continue to work, and I think we got to watch him from the minutes he's playing. I think sometimes young guys kind of hit a little wall in terms of being tired. And so I think Keyshawn and Desi and coming off the bench, I think they got to be very critical going down the stretch here. So we got to put those guys in and let them have some meaningful minutes. And I think we're seeing they're playing more consistent now. And that's the key with young guys. Can they be consistent? Can Reggie give us that night in and night out where he is a threat out there? I think Desi is playing pretty good basketball for us right now. Can we get Keyshawn more minutes out there on the floor? And I think what that'll help is help those guys starting out in the game get some rest.
And Mike, what have you thought of Mason's first 3 games? He had some big shots at A&M, and he's been pretty consistently aggressive, I guess, the last 2 home games.
I think Mason's starting to figure it out. They've been guarding him really hard. They scouted these guys, and they were guarding them really hard. And I think with most good players, they figure out, how to maximize what teams are doing to him. And if you notice, he's getting to the free throw line. The last 2 games, I think he's gotten to the free throw line almost 20 times. And so that obviously continues the scoring that we need on our basketball team. And I think he's moving without the ball, cutting to the hole and getting layups. So we're getting, I think, into the more up tempo we get, I think the more you'll see him continue to be a threat. He's learning. I think he's learning. But the one thing I want them to always understand that is it's inside out. And the more we start, I think, attacking the basket, getting the ball to Daniel, I think it opens it up for him. I think that's what is taking place.
With the free throws, do you think it's starting to get mental with the guys that are kind of pressing? Because Mason's obviously shooting well, but even guys you expect to shoot pretty well like Jalen and Isaiah have missed some. You think it's getting to be mental at all?
We're working on them. I think we're working on it. Let me put it that way. They're working extremely every day to get better, and I feel it. I got a feeling it'll get better. I really, really do. It's been the thing that. If you think there's something that's probably been the shortcoming of this team right now, it's probably making free throws and critical free throws. And as you said, guys that should be making them. And it's the difference between winning and losing games. And I think we've been in that position. So you just got to continue to work on it and just continue to encourage those guys.
Daniel, he got the 4th foul again the other day, but he played a long time without fouling out. What did he do? I mean, I guess is that just maturity, being smart, kind of knowing when to be aggressive, when not to, or
yeah.
What do you think of how he was able to not get the 5th foul?
He's done that a couple of games. The last couple of games, he's had 4 fouls, and he played better with 4. I think, I don't know, even A&M, I think he got 4 fouls, but he's got to be smart enough. Even the 3rd one, he shouldn't have gotten. That's where he's got to get smart. The 3rd one, I think we had some momentum going, and I think he deflected the ball and he dove at the ball. I mean, he wasn't going to come up with it, so just let him have it. And that's the thing about our team right now is that In the LSU, I thought we had a lot of momentum plays that we didn't take advantage of. We had the crowd in it. We were really doing some pretty good things, and then we kind of went away from it, and whether it be a turnover or just a bad play. And so we got to learn to capitalize. So, but that's the experience part of it. You got to go through some things in order to learn them and to understand what we're trying to do. And that's what we do with the tape. We'll go and break down the tape, and we'll sit down and have sessions with the team and with individuals, and just try to use it as a learning experience for them, and as we go forward.
You know, Mike, at A&M, I think all of Mason's shots, I think he took 11 threes. Was there a conversation where you wanted him to maybe attack the rim more, or did it just kind of click with him that that's what he knew he needed to do?
Well, we're not just going to be a team that's going to jack up threes and settle. You know, I think that was the conversation. And even when you think about the Florida game, I think half our shots were three-point shots. And that's not who we are. We're an attacking team. And I think when you attack or start inside out, when you got a guy of size such as Daniel, a guy who's not a black hole. I mean, he makes great passes out of the post, and but if you start understanding, you know, you play to win. You don't just play to play. And so, without a doubt, he hadn't shot many free throws, and so all of a sudden now he's shooting free throws, and he's doing more than just standing on the perimeter, you know, just letting it fly.
Mike, I know you guys haven't played anybody like Tennessee on the road, but you have won your 2 road games. Does that help a young team at all, knowing that, you know, they won big at Colorado State, you won a tough game at A&M? Does that help, you know?
We play well on the road. I think we play well on the road. And who knows, that may be the trick, you know. Sometimes you're playing at home for some guys, you know, it's some guys don't play as well as home. But we played well, so we'll see. As you said, as the game continues to play, the games get tougher and tougher. So we'll find out a little bit more about our basketball team. The questions that we posed at the beginning of the year, we're finding out some of the answers to it. And I still don't think we hadn't played some of our best basketball. I really don't. I think there were some periods of it. Playing LSU, I thought we played better, but I think there's still another level we can get to, and once we get those guys clicking on those cylinders, this will continue to be a fun team to watch and for you guys to cover.
Anything else?
All right.